Hello, hello. I want to go over a letter I got in the mail. It's completely a social engineering attack, which is otherwise known as human hacking, trying to convince somebody to do something that is not necessarily to their benefit. In this case, social engineering is just trying to get somebody to comply with some request. It's not always malicious, but in this case, it definitely is. This is a letter that's trying to collect personal information, otherwise known as PII, or personally identifiable information. I reached out to the number and tried to see what they were trying to pull, and they're trying to get first and last name, physical address that they already have. They're just confirming it, as well as social security number and banking information, and they're using it under the guise of they're here to help out consumers who are affected during the pandemic. So they're trying to use the pandemic as a means to get people sort of off their guard and convince them to give them their social security number so that they can pull some scams. So I wanted to go over this letter, show you all what it looks like. Here at the top it says COVID-19 SNF relief. And it's got a barcode. I haven't scanned it. I'm curious to see what it says, but I will at some point. Saying that it's for the addressee, and in that blue square, that is my physical address. So they looked me up, they did a little bit of research, and then they create a reference number. Why would they do that if this is not legit? Really simple reason. They want to appear legitimate. You call them, they greet you, they say, "Can I please get a reference number?" And you give them that reference number, and they say, "Oh, you must be blah at address blah," and everything matches, so you're a little bit more comfortable right off the bat. Well, it's kind of silly. They're looking up physical addresses and owners of properties on the internet. You can do that for free. It's public record, of course. And then they're writing down a reference number, and then they're making sure that they keep track of which address goes to which reference number. So that way, you call them, you tell them what your name is and your address, and they ask for the reference number, and they take that reference number and say, "Oh, you're John Smith at 123 whatever street," and immediately you're like, "Oh, okay, this is a little bit more comfortable." They're saying it's a credit card account settlement program. They said, they understand that the coronavirus is keeping people out of work, and they're offering to help with credit card payments. They're saying they can even get credit cards totally paid down, and then a fair loan is something that they'll issue to you. They have all these companies listed. Why would they do that? If they were legitimate, they would specifically say, "Hey, we know you bank with blah. Here's some information on this bank." They have operating hours, which is just when they're going to be available to answer that phone call. And then if you scroll up to the top, they've got like more, "Hey, look, we're legitimate" kind of stuff. But if you scroll up to the top, there's a phone number. If you call them, they're super friendly. They tell you what they're going to help you with, which is credit card debt relief. They ask for your first name. They ask for your birthday. They ask for your physical address for confirmation purposes, even though they've already told you what it is. And then they ask for your social security number. And if you give them pushback, they say, "Okay, well, we're the good guys." That's trying to get on your side, trying to gain trust. It's a common tactic in social engineering. And in this case, they're just trying to steal that information so they can then use your social security number to apply for credit cards, apply for loans, things like that. Or maybe even come back and say, "Hey, we've got your information. We're going to blackmail you." Oh, sorry, that's the birds. But I just wanted everyone to see this. It's going around. Be aware. Stay safe.